Hi, so Sfadish here. I'm going to make a sober video review of Ricky Rebel's show at the Key Club last night for the Raw Artists Live show thing. It was really wonderful. I enjoyed it. I think it was a very good. My boyfriend's behind me. If you see like moving, dude, there you go. Hi, boyfriend. Yeah, now you have to stay with me because the internet now knows that you're my boyfriend, so you can't leave me. Face palm. Anyway, so take a shot every time he screws up a video. Anyway, so yeah, the raw artist thing, I think it's a really good idea. Bringing all these artists together, bringing the fashion and the jewelry and hairstylist and makeup. I love the styling on like inked affection inked. I love the styling on that. That was beautiful. The hair and makeup really went with it. What really bothered me was the raw edges on the skirts. Some of them had raw edges, some of them didn't. There were some hem skirts, and the ones that were asymmetrical had threads hanging down. And maybe I watched too much Project Runway, but I'm sitting there going, raw edges, raw edges, raw edges. It really bothered me. I'm a little OCD. It bothered Claire too. Me and my friend Claire, who I met my freshman year, at the dorms, and so she took me because my ride bailed on me, and she was like, if I don't take you, you're gonna hitchhike there, because you're gonna go one way or another, so I'm just to make sure you don't get mugged and shot in an alleyway in West Hollywood, North Hollywood, West Hollywood, I don't know. I said one and I meant the other, and Claire was like, that's not what it is, like, because North Hollywood is the San Francisco of California. I'm like, I thought San Francisco is San Francisco, California. She's like, Southern California. I'm like, is that what you said? Claire and I have wonderful conversations. So we went to see Ricky Rebel, and it was funny because she had agreed to go, never having heard any of his music, just knowing how much I talk about him. And I really feel like all of my friends are ready for me to stop talking about him because of this show coming up, this show on Friday, and this show coming up on Tuesday at Cal Poly Pomona, which is where I go to school, was where Claire and I go to school. A lot of my friends, duh. Anyway, so there is a show coming up at Cal Poly Pomona, and I have not stopped talking about it for the past couple months because Ricky was supposed to come in February, but it rained, and so we had to reschedule it for this quarter, and I was very sad. Because it was rained out. It didn't actually really rain. It drizzled like a little. Like I remember I was talking about this with Mama Rebel. We were both sort of sad about it. She's like, it didn't even rain. Like, I know. Like, something about the instruments, and like there's an easy up over the drum set, and that's about it. And really it was like during the time where we would have been setting up, so it would have been like, cover the monitors. We got like a tarp out. It would have been fine. No. Anyway, so now he's coming, which I'm excited about. I actually think it's better now that he's coming this coming Tuesday because of this Raw live show, because it really solidified the Ricky Rebel band and not just him as a solo artist, Ricky Rebel. He's now Ricky Rebel, the band. And like it was wonderful seeing him on stage, and he's gone through this real transformation. I said this twice in my last video. The transformation from you need a woman and get it on to manipulator, and then what came after that? It came after Manipulator was released. It was his live album release show, and the entire CD was released. And then he did he dyed his hair blue, and then he did We Found a Love and Masterpiece, and then started working on the Geisha Dance video. That at the September show, that's what he was planning on doing next. And then he dyed his hair blue, and then he dyed it green, and then he dyed it aqua, then he dyed it back to blue. And then I accused him of wearing a wig, and he made a video showing his roots. I told Claire that. I'm like, you expect any less of me? So she knew what she was getting into. And so I'm excited that he's coming to Cal Poly this next Tuesday, and all my friends are ready for me to shut up about him. I probably will not ever stop talking about him. I will probably be less inclined to mention him every other sentence. So it's just about every other sentence, right? All day. He's like, what are you thinking about, Ricky Rebel?
Really not the answers I'm looking for either.
No. What do you think about Ricky Rebel? Every time. What do you think about besides Ricky Rebel? Holy musical Batman. I'm such a bad person. Anyway, so show review of the show. It was wonderful. I was like right in front, like right center. There was a catwalk going on, and as soon as I saw that, I turned to Claire and went, "Ricky's gonna have a field day with that catwalk," and I was right. um, and he started with "Get It On," which he always tends to start with. And it's fun because I immediately, once that beat starts going, I know what song it is. Because it's the first song I ever heard of him, and it's the first song I bought off iTunes. And I learned all the dance moves because I was going to do a drag routine to it, never ended up doing it. I should probably film it. Maybe. My leather pants don't fit. I have leather pants. They're size too small. That would work, right? I don't know. Anyway, so it was Get It On, and Allison had this beautiful like bouffant. I could never make my hair do that. And her violin was really cool. It was like strapped onto her. You know, like violins have that neck rest. It was like strapped onto her. It was really cool. She's like not even touching it. It was just hanging there, and that was really cool. And I immediately recognized it as an electric violin. Or digital electronic. I don't know the exact terminology, but yeah. So that was really cool. And then Conrado had this cool stripe thing. It reminded me, I did this double stripe on my cheek for my Killjoy outfit, and I did a makeup test, and I ran to hip-hop after that, and my hip-hop teacher who had danced for Michael Jackson recognized that as something that a Michael Jackson dancer did. I forget his name. I feel like it's a Sanchez. I forget. But recognized that as a thing that a Michael Jackson dancer did. So he had this stripe, and that was sort of the theme. Ricky had this like one stripe going across an eyeliner. And I noticed like after he had like blue drops on his shirt, so I don't know if like his hair dye was like dripping or something, or is that from the makeup? I don't remember. His hair was blue, and it was gorgeous, and it was very very new to see him he was in a suit jacket and a tie, and very sort of less prim than I'm used to seeing him, because the last time I saw him it was very it was very costumey. He had different costumes, and he was in that jacket that's on the poster that was like showing his abs, and it's on the CD. This one, that one, he was wearing that, and so it very what's the word, overtly sexual in what he wore. So that's honestly why I liked him being so sexual in his dance moves, was because he's all covered up. And it's like you don't really expect that from cute little boy in a suit. So all of a sudden start grabbing his crotch and open the monitor, and it was good. It was really good. And then after Get It On, it was You Need a Woman? Okay. I don't expect you to answer me.
Okay. Good.
I just keep looking at you because you're so cute. Anyway, so yeah, so it was Get It On, You Need a Woman, Lights Out, then Straight Jacket, Missing You, and Geisha Dance. And it was so funny going into I think it was Lights Out or Straight Jacket. It was one of those. The crowd was so hyped up that they didn't want to come down for the ballad. And so it was just so funny because everyone started screaming and cackling and like catcalling. And I'm like, no, this is the ballad. Shh, calm down. Like, I think the placement of the songs and the way he performed it was really well, because it brought everybody up and then slowly brought them down to Missing You. And then, with the grand finale of Geisha Dance, which I missed the Dancing Girls on, and I said this, but I really do miss the Dancing Girls, because you're going to do as a finale, you might as well just go full out with it, I miss the Dancing Girls. I feel like if you're going to bring this on like a tour, if this is going to be your show, bring out the dancing girls. That's what I just missed that. I don't know if that's something he's cut out completely of his show. I like that. I like the dancing girls. And I miss Perfect Kiss because I was looking forward to seeing that on a larger stage. And yes, I got in trouble for criticizing and the Perfect Kiss. That was choreographed by Alexander Foss because it didn't read well on the Troubadour stage. The stage was too small. There was too much going on, and I lost it. But on a big stage like the Key Club, it could have, been so much easier to read. Yes, everybody would have kind of sitting there going, what? What? It's a little cerebral. You kind of have to think about it. It's art. I understood. It's art. It's dance. I get it. But it was really hard to catch everything because the stage was so small. And I missed Independent Lover. That's one of my favorite songs. And I was excited to hear Straight Jacket again because that is one of my favorite songs. And Ricky was grabbing everybody's hand on the side and I gave him a squeeze. And it was so cool because every once in a while he'd just look over at me. And he'd lock eyes and he'd laugh or he'd smile at me because I'm sitting there, I'm singing all the words and I'm dancing and I'm doing the geisha dance. Like, Claire laughed at me. She's like, really? Like, you really expect any less of me? I am, Ricky proclaimed me as his #1 fan. I'm the street team rebel leader. That's just what I do. I am weird and obsessive and I want to go to every show that I possibly can and get him to tour everywhere, and I'm going to follow along whether or not I'm invited. Or not. I don't know. I'd like to. Yeah, so that it was really wonderful. Let's see. What counts can I say that hasn't been said in the drunk video? It was, let's see. What haven't I said? I don't remember. There was a lot of conversation with people after, people who immediately knew who I was, which was kind of funny. And there's the girl in the coral shirt, because she was yelling at Ricky to take his shirt off, which he did eventually. Ooh, it's hot, and I'm like, oh my god, if he takes his shirt off, I'll love you forever. And she's like, ooh, something along the lines of like insinuating that I didn't know what his abs looked like, and I'm like, I almost in my head I was kind of like, do you know who I am? Like, I didn't want to like say that because I'm not the type of person who'd be like, do you know who I work for? Do you know who I am? Like, I'm not that type of person, but it still was like, dude, what? Because everyone who was kind of over there was related to Ricky, and a lot of people would walk up to me and be like, oh, yo, so you're Rachel, so you're Ricky's #1 fan. Oh, you're the one from Pomona. Like, pretty much everybody knew who I was without me ever having to say hi. I'm not going to let that get to my head. That is definitely something that I'm not going to do. That's what I absolutely hate. There's some fangirls in some fandoms who will just say, oh, I've been there since the beginning. I'm a better fan. I'm better than you. Like, even in the MC Army, the kids that have been around since Black Parade or Revenge think they're better than the kids from Danger Days. I haven't seen it where the kids from Bullets are like, oh, I'm better than you. Kids from Bullets are like, sweet. Because they've been around for 10 years. And like, yeah, finally somebody understands me. But I feel like it's a lot of the Black Parade kids are a little judgmental when it comes to the kids who come in from Danger Days and feel like they're better. And there is a lot of hate within the MC Army, and Ricky's got to be careful, because he did say once that all my true rebels, this is for you, or all my real rebels, you got to be careful drawing that line in the sand, because people will take offense to that, and people will take that as a title, and they'll go, well, I'm a real fan, you're not. And I will never do that. I will accept anybody who loves Ricky Rebel. Love him as Ricky Rebel. Love him for his music. Don't love him because he's show pony. That's kind of... I have a friend. She's like, oh yeah, I'm going to go see show pony. I'm like, no, you're going to see Ricky Rebel. You're not going to see show pony. He plays show pony, but he is not himself show pony. And I had this discussion with you. Don't fall asleep on me.
Go.
Okay. I had this conversation with my boyfriend earlier today that he says hi. Take a shot. So yeah, I had this conversation where it's like, she likes him because he's show pony. She's like, oh, he's not really my cup of tea as far as music. I'm like, then why do you want to go? Why do you want to spend money on gas and tickets and parking if, you don't exactly like his music? Is it because he's show pony? That just, it bothers me a little. Yes, I did find him out because he was show pony, but I stayed because he's an amazing person and an amazing artist, and he inspires me. Honestly, that's why I'm still around. That's why I'm so obsessed, is because he inspires me every day, to do better and to, I it really inspires me to get other people to listen to him, and to get him places and to get him into venues and to meet other fans that so that he can do the good for other people that he's done for my life. And he was really big in my, when I was still a Mary Kay lady. I was selling Mary Kay. I went to Dallas, and that was right. Was it before or after? I can't remember. It was in July, so it was before the Troubadour show, and I'd had a dream that I was at a Ricky Rebel show, and he was in his outfit he saw Lady Gaga. If you watched Rebel Vision episode 1, The Closet, it's that powder blue like jumpsuit, and he had big disco platforms on, and so I was in this show, and there wasn't a stage or anything. It was just sort of it's the show, and he was really tall. He was like taller than everybody else. And I feel like that symbolism for how tall he was. Yeah, he is on stage because he is a little, because stage is raised. And he was talking to people, and I was just kind of standing there, and he pushed through the crowd, and he came over, and he knew who I was, and he gave me a hug. This was a dream still. And I woke up crying because I didn't think I was going to be able to go see Rick. And it just broke my heart knowing that I wouldn't be able to go see him. I was just sobbing. I was so upset. And then when I went to go see him, and then at Mary Kay, I kept having these like daydreams where like, because everything is just so fabulous in purple. And Ricky had said then his favorite color was purple, and it's changed to green. I'm like, I don't look good in green, so I'm just going to keep wearing purple, okay? Purple's my favorite color. Purple and red and blue and turquoise. The good colors. Anyway, so I was seeing all this wonderful purple, and we saw this fabulous male Mary Kay representative, and I remember telling Ricky that I had, if he wanted, I could give him a free Mary Kay facial, or give his mom a facial, because that's what Mary Kay ladies do. We make people, we pamper people we like, and we make them feel good. And so I had this daydream that I had given Ricky a facial, and he wanted to be a Mary Kay person, Mary Kay consultant. And so that's what got me through all of my Mary Kay seminar, was saying I need to be this leader and this director so that I can be a great leader for Ricky. And it sounds crazy, and I know it sounds really crazy, and this is probably going to solidify my state as my moniker as the weird, crazy, creepy fangirl, but that's just how my brain works. That's how I get through everything, is through fan fiction and Mary Sue's, and it's just how I am. I'm weird. I accept it. Love me, hate me. It's just how I am. And then I came back, and I was fighting with my parents about going to see Ricky Rebel, because my mom didn't want me driving into Hollywood that late, and blah, 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 and I was going to get raped and kidnapped and hijacked and all sorts of good stuff, and they finally let me go, and it was a dream come true being there, and it still continues to be a dream come true. He talks to me on Facebook and Twitter, and everybody talks to me, and I had a conversation with Allison today. It was cool, and now his personal assistant knows me, and everybody sort of knows who I am, and it's sort of surreal in a way. I kind of feel like the Rachel Burry of Ricky Rebel, and Rachel Burry is somebody, she is sort of the #1 fan of Chantal Claret. I feel like that's what I get from her. And shit, I was supposed to send shit in for her. I'll do it later. Anyway, so the big thing was at the last Morningwood shows for Chantal Claret and her old band Morningwood, that Rachel Burry went over there to New Jersey to be in the show, and she met them, and they knew who she was, and so now they're sort of friends, and they talk to her, and they know her personally now, and she's sort of the big deal in far as in that fan base, and I feel like that's sort of what I am to Ricky. I am the Rachel Burry of Ricky Rebel, where I am the number one fan, and it's said, and he knows it, and everyone knows it, and it's sort of weird, and I'm just excited to see how this develops, and I'm excited to see how this video ends. I don't actually know if I said anything different. No, you didn't finish the video.